Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Thursday, July 9th. I'm going to be continuing to play the game Persona 3 Reload as a part of my Persona a Day series. That's why I've been playing the game one in-game day at a time, as it lines up with the real calendar. I'm going to start off by going over what we did yesterday, just to make sure we're all caught up and coming into today with the same information. After that, we'll get into today's gameplay and see what happens. And after that, then we'll meet back here to the desk and talk about it a bit. I will have timestamps in the description in case you want to jump ahead to a different section. And please be aware that this is a full playthrough of the game, so we will be encountering spoilers. Okay then, so to start off, yesterday was Wednesday, July 8th. It was the day after our big full moon operation on Tuesday. Tuesday was a resounding success. The team performed perfectly, and I just really couldn't be happier with how things came together after all the preparation we put in for Tuesday. So it was that nice sigh of relief yesterday to have Tuesday behind us successfully and to be able to just take that step back and try to unwind and relax a bit. Of course, it was still Wednesday, so the day started off at school. In the morning, during classes, I was asked a question about comma splices. Miss Toriumi was going over some grammar and decided it was my turn to try to answer a question. Thankfully, after talking it out a little bit, I was able to narrow down my choices and select the correct option, and in so doing, also gain a point of charm progress. So it was a nice, productive start to the day, getting some extra charm early on in school. The rest of the school day was fairly standard. We've got exams in less than 1 week now, so I'm sure we're kind of getting in that mindset of getting as prepared as we can for that. But the school day came and went from there. After school, I had some options on who to spend some time with. So I did my usual, took that walk around town, a bit of that summer heat. I was also just able to talk to everybody around and see some new bits of dialogue after the full moon. It seems like there are still rumors going around about apathy syndrome in the couples. Some people at school are still trying to relate it to ghost involvement, so it really just epitomizes what we've seen from our peers at the school. Everybody wants to try to justify it somehow, and that's kind of human nature, but it's still ghosts in a lot of people's eyes. Along my way, I decided to spend the rest of the afternoon with Maiko. I saw her at the shrine. She seems to be doing okay, and it was just nice to catch up with her and make sure that things are still going well in her life, or as well as they can be. She's been talking about considering running away, and thankfully she has not followed through with that yet. And it was also nice that yesterday was just a nice, relaxing interaction with her. We just played at the playground. We had fun. We got a little bit closer. She seemed to really enjoy herself, and it wasn't enough to increase our social link rank to a new level, but it was just that bit of extra bonding to get that bond a little bit closer. So we both had fun. The afternoon seemed to fly, and soon enough it was time to part ways. She headed home, and I went back to the dorm. When I got there, I came in, and Yukari and Fuuka were there, and they let me know that they had something important they needed to discuss with each other, so they weren't going to be available for the evening. Tartarus wasn't going to work out. They had a couple things they wanted to go over by themselves without anybody else. We talked about it. I think we know the gist of what they were talking about, but that was what they were doing last night. I didn't plan to go to Tartarus anyway because we're coming off of the full moon. And Akihiko also kind of said as much. Mitsuru was out. We had the full moon on Tuesday, so it was just a good night not to put ourselves out there. I also talked to Junpei, and he still has a bit of a chip on his shoulder about the way things have been playing out with the team. He sees himself as just as capable a leader as I am, and I'm not opposed to that idea, but he seems rather irked that I'm the one that's getting showered with all this praise and accolades for something he sees his ability as comparable to. He thinks he could do what I could do, and he just feels like he's not being utilized in the best way possible, and he seems to kind of blame me to some extent for that. I talked to him last night, and he said, "Hey, what do you want? You gonna boss me around again? You basically just, get out of my face." I think he needs some space for a little while to work out whatever he's working on. I'll try to keep the lines of communication open, but I feel like that's about all I can really do at this point. So, with everybody else spoken for, I went out, took a look around town. There were no social links available last night, so it was kind of one of those unusual evenings where, after feeling so busy in the evenings, there weren't as many pressing matters. We weren't looking at going to Tartarus, or there weren't social links to spend some time with. So it really was just that nice evening to take a step back and try to come up with something fun to do. I stopped by Club Escapade along the way just to stop a couple different places, but I ended up deciding to go to Game Parade. It's been a long time since I've done any gaming. We all know our character is quite the gamer, so having that chance to just go and do something fun like that with the evening. A nice air-conditioned arcade in a summer evening doesn't sound that bad either. But I know we like the games there. I was able to play You're the Answer. I was able to also gain a couple points of academic progress at the same time, which made it all the more fun. I mean, the game was fun, the environment was fun, but with exams coming up, gaining some academic progress was all really good as well. And I'm sure time flew from there, but it was just that exactly what I wanted it to be, relaxing evening. It was no pressure, it was low stakes, it was something I like to do. It was just a good breather. So I was able to head back to the dorm at a reasonable hour, kind of relax for the rest of the evening, get to bed, and just feel like all that work we put in to get through that full moon was behind us, and this was kind of that easy recovery reward day. So I got to bed feeling like it was just a great day, and I'm ready to hit the ground going again today to keep that progress moving. So I will take us over to the game, and we'll see what happens on Thursday, July 9th. We'll be right there. Okay, so here we are. This is Game Parade from last night, where I gained a little of academic progress. It wasn't enough to move the rank up from above average, but it's still a good place to be. I'm going to try, the idea is to try to prioritize academics a little bit with the exam starting on Tuesday, just to be that responsible student. And it was just kind of a happy coincidence that I lined up with playing some games at the arcade last night. But with that was how Wednesday ended. We've caught up with Thursday the 9th, so we are back in line with the calendar. Getting to overhear some students to start the day. I can hear people talking.
Anyway.
Our campus is actually pretty clean and new. I only noticed after my club had to visit another school. My parents said that our school was rebuilt after an explosion 10 years ago. Wow. There's all sorts of interesting things about that line. I mean, that's quite the experience. An explosion that caused the school to be rebuilt. But it's also kind of surprising that that's not bigger news to the students here. It kind of seems like that would be one of those things that would always be some level of consciousness in students' minds, almost like that rite of passage of going to the school that blew up 10 years ago. And, can you only imagine what it was like back then? That sort of thing. So for that to be some sort of discovery seems kind of surprising, but at the same time, I guess this school draws people from all over the place, so maybe they aren't exactly from the area. And so yeah, I guess I can let it slide a little bit that they wouldn't know 10-year-old history if they weren't around it. Still, I mean, to have that story of, that the school blew up 10 years ago and they had to rebuild it. Wait, what?
By the way,
I also heard that the explosion wasn't the only reason. Okay, well, this is new information. We'd heard something about 10 years ago. Something happened 10 years ago. We have heard that multiple times now, but apparently there might be more to it. Around that time, a lot of students suddenly stopped coming to school. Okay, we actually did hear about that. I think there was a cutscene between Fuuka and Yukari in Fuuka's room? Where it might have been the command room. Either way, I think it was talked about where there were a lot of students that stopped coming to school. Maybe that's why they put up the new building. Start with a clean slate. Interesting, and this kind of feels like this is where the school body seems to thrive, in filling in the blanks with rumor and speculation.
Huh?
What, you think there's a dark side to Gekkokan High? You watch too much TV. Really, I thought Chatty Student was going to lean into that in some capacity. And the first bell has rung. Still nice to overhear people talking about things and have to commit that information to memory, because I'm sure bits and pieces of it will be useful going forward, like so much of it always is. But looks like it's time for school.
Let's skim through this chapter.
Mr. Ono, it's been too long. Let's talk about the Heian era today. I won't spend a lot of time on this, so pay attention. In 794, the Heian was established. In 894, they abolished imperial embassies to China. I might put this section on the exam next week. I'm feeling lazy. I probably should have paid more attention to that previous line. Let me pull up the log here and just reread that for my own studying purposes. In 794, the Heian was established. In 894, they abolished imperial embassies in China. All right. I'm not sure that's really going to help, but I'm going to say it can't hurt. Anyway, on to feudalism. Listen carefully, because this has to do with the origins of the samurai.
And so,
I choose you, Shima. Let's see what you know. There's been a lot of this recently, and every time, it's not as bad as if I were in a real classroom, but even still, it's like, okay, everybody's staring at me. All of you guys are staring at me. So, the law permitting permanent ownership of newly cultivated land serves as a foundation for the development of feudalism. The law permitting permanent ownership of newly cultivated land served as a foundation for the development of feudalism. Thanks to this decree, a lot of land was cultivated. At the same time, a serious problem arose for the farmers. Do you remember what that was? A lot of land being cultivated. Workforce shortages, security issues. Given his talks about this being the origin of the samurai, I'm thinking environmental destruction probably isn't the angle he's going. But I could also very much see social disparity, especially talking about feudalism and the establishing of the different class structures. But I could also go the other direction, and say I could see land invasion. If there's all these resources all over the place, you would need some way to defend what's yours. If all these fields are being cultivated with important productive resources, somebody could see that and just like, oh, I want those for myself. I'm going to take those because I have force. So and that also kind of ties back to social disparity then. And you've got the people with the land that are trying to control the land and cultivate the land. And social disparity could say, I'm a class that has not, so I'm going to take from the people that have by way of land invasion. Yeah, this is one of those questions that you could definitely argue for environmental destruction as well, but I would be surprised if that comes to be the right answer. So it's really between land invasion and social disparity in my mind. And again, his talks about samurai make me think that he wants to lead me to talking about the need for defense, which could be the foundations for that samurai class. Or you could also take, samurai class as being the social disparity. He told me to pay attention because it relates to samurai, and that seems to be such an important thing. Look at Mr. Ono. That I'm hedging more towards land invasion at this point. I think that kind of fuels into the social disparity then, but the two are so linked in my head that it's not really fair to say one without the other. But he's the teacher, I'm not, so I'm sure he can explain it in better context than I can. Again, this is one of those questions, too, where I'm sure the whole class is staring at me, and I've been sitting here for 5 minutes talking about it. And it's like, okay, you've got to say something. I called on you. What are you going to say? Well, I'm not going to waste any more time. I think land invasion is... Again, though, it's like I've made a strong case for both of these, so it's really hard to pick one over the other, but just... based on his preferences for samurai, I think this kind of leads him to being able to talk about them. So I think that's why he would bring it up. Maybe that's not the right way to approach a history question and trying to analyze the psychology of the question asker, but I'm going to go with that shaky answer of land invasion.
No!
Wrong! It was social disparity. Okay. And yeah, like I said, I could definitely have made the case for that. Although I do think that social disparity would lead to things like land invasion, but okay, he's the teacher. I'm glad he gently let me down and told me that I was not correct. He's just gonna pile on. Come on, you can do better than that. You're descended from the samurai. The work doesn't end after you plow the land. It costs a lot of money to build waterways and stuff on top of that. So the farmers with more wealth and authority could make more money by expanding their lands. On the other hand, those who weren't as affluent had no choice but to remain poor. It's the same old story throughout time. Well, that's all for the Heian period. Okay. Yeah, he's not wrong. I was. I did say the wrong answer. Still got a little bit of a, okay, but yeah. We'll get him next time. I answered incorrectly. Anybody else in the game want to talk about how wrong I was? This is going to be the new rumor going through school. I heard you didn't know anything about the social classes in the Heian period. Come on, I thought you were better than that. Oh well. I say, but it kind of bugs me. I'm not going to lie. Can't change it now, though. Gonna save the game, really can't change it. It happened. So, I just have to learn from that and move forward. Okay, well, the day is over. And now I can come up with something, hopefully, that I can approach properly. Let's start off with checking my phone. Oh, requests. I can't remember the last time I had a text from Suimitsu either. That almost might have been longer ago than Elizabeth. Fill in the blank. Eat like a... The answer is eat like a gourmet king. Think you've got what it takes? Then come on over. And with Elizabeth here, requests. Greed is such a terrible sin. Alas, I cannot help but want, and now the number of requests I have for you has increased. I would be incredibly pleased should you spare the time to fulfill them. Sincerely yours, forevermore, Elizabeth. Well, I absolutely have to make my way over to Elizabeth to see what the new requests are. It's interesting to have a text here from Suimitsu. Could be some fun to spend the afternoon with him. It would be the actual first time since establishing the social link. It is the week before exams, so there are a lot fewer people available to spend time with. No after-school clubs seem to be operating this week, as is school rule. So no track team, no art club, no fashion club. I went to student council the other day. I can't imagine they're meeting today. I spent time with Maiko yesterday. So there might be the elderly couple at Bookworms. Suimitsu at the Polonia Mall. I don't see Kenji over the desk there. I don't know if Chihiro's going to be out in the hall or if Yuko's down the hall, but a lot of times it seems like the week before exams they weren't available either. So I guess at this point it's probably the social link running between Suimitsu and the elderly couple. And I always like to prioritize social links. That's probably what I'll do, but let's take a look now after having talked it out and see what everyone else did. Look at that, Suimitsu and the old couple. Only 76% though, that's really surprising. I do see a lot of people trying to do, academic-focused things, studying the library, using Wakatsu Kitchen. I can't remember. I think giving money as an offering might also help with academics. I don't know about that, though. And making use of the movie theater. I don't think that's one we see very often. I know it's not one I've ever taken advantage of this run so far. Again, though, with social links there, I still think I'm going to stick with the majority and end up in that 76%, whether it's Suimitsu or the old couple. Probably Suimitsu at this point, just because I haven't done anything with him yet. It would kind of be nice to get the ball rolling on his social link. But first things first is kind of a bit of a tour around town that culminates to stopping at... No, you know what? I think I should start with Elizabeth. Depending on what her requests are, that might naturally take me to a lot of these other places so I don't end up backtracking. So yeah, I think that's where I want to start off. I didn't see anybody to talk to. No Chihiro, no Yuko. Anybody on the roof? Yes, actually there is. Who are you? You're not lazy student, are you? Yeah, you are lazy student. It's almost summer vacation. I used to love summer vacation when I was a kid. Yeah, how many kids didn't? But now it's like, whatever. I just don't get excited about it anymore. That's kind of a bummer. I'm not even in school anymore, and I still kind of get excited when it's summer vacation. It's not even my vacation anymore. Well, that's unfortunate for him, but that's the way he sees things. I'm distracted by what I'm seeing out there, just all the colors, the horizon. It looks nice. Yeah, I said it the other day too. It's almost wild walking down these halls and not seeing the usual bits of activity around of the different clubs and things being available. It really does showcase, in its own subtle way, how everybody is leaning more towards focusing on exams. You know, the clubs aren't meeting, so people are less prevalent in the halls. They're studying, they're doing other things. They can convey so much in so little. They didn't say it, they just showed it. It just really worked out. So there's Suimitsu. I will still stop by the various businesses, but no, I'm going to start with Elizabeth, just like we'd said. If any of my stops take me to these businesses, then it just is all the better.
Good day.
Oh, is there something I can assist you with? There is. I have some requests to undertake, I understand.
Are you accepting a request?
Lots of them. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. I want to eat a chilled taiyaki. I can't imagine it's still technically chilled, having been in my pocket since, I don't know, a week or so ago when I took it out. I mean,
Please paint my powerful persona a pretty purple. Please paint my powerful This is harder than I thought.
I'm not even going to attempt that. But back to this taiyaki. I have one of those, technically.
Most excellent.
Oh, it seems you've already
Let's
completed
hear
this
your
request.
report.
One moment, please, while I check. So this is the chilled taiyaki. Well, it certainly is cold. Wow, our freezer must be magic. Or my bag is, but amazing.
You have my thanks.
It has a soft, chewy texture and such cute round eyes. I shall savor every bite. Please take this as your reward. I am so glad that actually had some utility. I saw it as a healing item that did like 100 HP, which was going to be nice in its own regard, but that's very fortunate. Nile cloth. Create a persona with torrent shot, which apparently I also have already done. Kind of amazed I've got one in my possession.
Most excellent.
Oh, it appears
Now,
you've already
let's
completed
hear
it.
your report.
Here, take this as your reward. 3 attack mirrors. So, I wish to feel the ocean. Bring something you find from the ocean. I have longed to visit this place called the Ocean.
A shame.
Alas, as you know, I am unable to abandon my post here. So, if you ever have the opportunity to visit the ocean, would you look for something that feels like the ocean for me?
I will await a report of success.
Bring me a Christmas star.
If I may say so.
This time I'd like for you to bring me a certain plant. It is often referred to as the Christmas star. I do not have any more knowledge on this subject. Should you require help, I recommend asking someone well-versed in plants. Well, I know there's a garden store down at the Bologna station, or the Port Island station. That seems like a good place to head.
By all means.
Please feed the cat. Give the hungry cat some food.
I can sense a presence.
I sense a presence. There seems to be a hungry cat somewhere out there. We know about this cat. We definitely know about this cat. It appears to have trouble finding food. As such, it has not yet been fed. Would you please find and feed this poor thing? Yes, 100% yes. That was the very first thing I bought from the pharmacy on their very first sale. There was some sort of, I think it was luxury cat food. You guys said buy the cat food, feed the cat. I loved that idea. We bought the cat food, couldn't feed the cat, but it looks like we were just way too far ahead of the game, so this might be our chance.
By all means.
I'd like to see a pair of Max safety shoes.
Oh, yes.
The other day, I heard a housewife say something rather intriguing. Within the world of online shopping, these Max safety shoes are extremely popular right now. I would love to see what makes these shoes so special. Would you please bring me a pair?
I will await a report of success.
World of online shopping. That makes me think of the URL dealer, since there's no other real online things I've had access to. He might sell me some sort of link to purchase a pair. I'll have to look into that. Let me hear music unique to GeckoCon. That's very interesting because we had somebody talking about the GeckoCon Boogie, I think it was. That was the original, that was a proposed school anthem or something. He was talking about it by the movie theater, I think. He kind of thought, what kind of song has the name Boogie in the title or something?
Come to think of it.
It's said that music can paint a vivid reflection of the culture at the time and place in history. Should that prove true, then I wonder if the Gekkoukan High School you attend has its own unique music as well. It's been on my mind ever since I've first heard of this. So, will you do me one favor? I'd like to hear a piece of music distinctive to your learning facility, Gekkoukan High School.
I will await a report of success.
Defeat a rare shadow. Defeat a rare shadow in the third block, the Yabasha, and bring back one rustic coin. Ooh, that'll be an interesting one that I'm going to have to A, defeat the rare shadow, but B, not inadvertently sell said rare coin. I guess hopefully I can catch Elizabeth after acquiring one while we're in Tartarus so I don't accidentally sell it.
By all means.
Retrieve the fourth old document.
I will await a report of success.
Okay, so that looks like everything I can do right now. I can't see myself being able to find anything related to the ocean. I'll have to think about that one. Maybe I'll see it in a shop or something. Bring me a Christmas star. That was what I was going to head by the Rafflesia, the gardening place down at Port Island Station. I can feed the cat while I'm down there. And, Max Safety Shoes. I was going to consider looking at the URL dealer, or maybe Officer Kurosawa's got some connections. Music unique to Gekkoukan. I think there was maybe the faculty office? If it was some older music the guy was talking about. I think I've got a variety of places to stop today. Did you need anything else? No, I should be good.
Very well, then.
On the social link side of things, I'm thinking Suimitsu. He's the moon. I've got Yamato no Orochi, so I'm great there. That's very good. So let's stop in and say hi to Igor. Then I can make my way around and see what I can do to address some of these requests. It's one of those things where they technically don't all have to happen at once, but it's nice to try to tackle them sooner rather than later. So Igor, Elizabeth, just here to say hi. Hope Thursday's treating you well. I thank you as always for the support, and I hope I can continue to count on you. So thank you.
We look forward to your next visit.
Nobody else is missing. That's always good.
Come to think of it.
All right, it's Officer Kurosawa. I hope you're also having a great day. Thank you for your support. Do you have anything new by any chance?
What'll it be? What are you looking for?
Not yet.
What'll take as long as you need.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for taking care of our organization. I appreciate it, and I hope you're having a great day as well.
All done here?
I am.
Come back soon.
The pharmacist has a sale on Saturday, so I probably won't buy anything until Saturday, but I'll still stop in here. Oh, cheers, sorbet. It's getting hot. All right. I've already got a super cat food. Hoity-toity cat food for fine felines. I won't look to buy anything else till the weekend, so pharmacist, thank you for being here, for taking care of everyone. Thank you for being someone I can count on.
Best to stock up on items before you fry to a crisp this summer. You're gonna need them to get through the brutal heat.
Thank you for the reminder. Probably stand here for a second and enjoy his air before we head back out into that heat.
Done already?
I am, but thank you. I will see you Saturday to go over my stock.
Come again, yeah?
I will. What's playing at Game Parade today? High School of Youth and Punchboxer. So there's Suimitsu, but he'll probably be the place I wrap things up. Looks like Port Island Station's got something specific going on with that exclamation mark, so that kind of helps narrow my search. I know I can feed the cat. I also wanted to talk about that Christmas star, potentially. Excuse me, flower shop lady. Welcome to Rafflesia. What kind of flowers are you looking for? Looking for a Christmas star? Nope, doesn't look to be an option here.
Please come again.
I think it was this snobby movie critic that was talking about the music at Gekkoukan. Yeah, the movie's theme song. Quality influences the movie. Yeah, long ago I heard there was going to be a Gekkoukan theme song. I think it was called Gekkokan Boogie or something like that. I heard it was nearly done. I want to hear how it turned out, but who the hell names their song Boogie? Yeah, so it's out there, it exists. I'll just have to poke around and see where I can find it. The weak cat's the star attraction today, so I'm going to work from over here back first. So, timid cat, hello. I'd love to feed you as well. Delinquents, carry on. And weak cat, oh, this is the day we've all been waiting for. I'll say Mew now, but I have something for you. I get to have something for you. Mew. This cat looks very weak. It seems like it might be hungry. Maybe I should give it the super cat food. I should definitely give it the super cat food. I should give the weak cat whatever it wants. Starting with the super cat food. Mew. Meow, meow. The cat is purring loudly. It seems happy. We did it, guys. We did it. Game over right here. We beat the game. The cat is purring loudly. It seems happy. Maybe the cat will feel better if I come back and feed it again tomorrow. We get to do this again tomorrow, guys. You've got to come back for tomorrow now. It's not my rule. The weak cat said so. I almost feel like I should just go buy another cat food now, but maybe I'll buy it tomorrow. I'll buy him the freshest thing possible. I'm just going to kind of nose around the school a little bit here and see if I can come across anything. There were all these different classrooms that might have something. Faculty office? It's the faculty office? Looks like I can't get through. The door on the side. There's nothing I need to do here right now. Okay. I don't want to spend the afternoon in the nurse's office. Welfare training room? It's the welfare practice room. I wonder how much importance this school places on subjects such as welfare. The printing room. Can't imagine there's music there, but it's the printing room. I wonder if the printouts the teachers hand out are printed here. We've read these before, but it's kind of nice to come back probably a month later. That's the library. Fashion club. Music prep room. Music, okay. It's the music prep room. The instruments used for classes and clubs are probably stored nearby. They're stored here. I say there are some nearby. Home ec prep room. It's the home economics prep room. I can see the sewing supplies that are used for class. There's a timpani and music stands next to the music room. I wonder if these are used for the music club during the after-school hours. Some cunning deductive work. Okay, there's a photography club. It's right before exams, so there are no activities, and the room is silent. The art room, we know that one. The laboratory, it's the science lab. There may be dangerous chemicals inside. I better not go in without permission. A good responsible take. Alright, well. It's the janitor's room. It looks like hard work managing the entire school's facilities. Right. Aside from that corridor area, I feel like that rules out floor 1. How did I miss Junpei? Boy, he probably thinks even less of me now, like I just walked out and gave him the cold shoulder. Junpei!
What?
Huh, what do you want? Don't bug me if it's not important. I'm heading home now. Alright. I'm gonna keep trying. I don't want to be petty about it, but there is that part of me. It's like, fine, be mad. Nope, I don't want to be that guy, so. Student council room. PA room. It's the PA room. Oh, this sounds promising. I can hear bizarre music playing inside. What the heck is this song? Gekkokan Boogie. That's just what the movie critic was talking about. Why does the school have music like this? Must be a teacher's theme song or something that plays when they enter a classroom. No way, man, that's crazy. Just think if teachers did have like entry music like that, though. They could have whatever song, you know. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Should I try entering the PA room? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think the door pulls from left or from right to left. I got that wrong already. Maybe I can't enter the room. Maybe it's not my day to get questions correct. Yeah, let's enter. Oh, it does. Okay, yep, I just banged into the door then. Sorry, you have to have permission to be in... Huh? This song? I have no idea what it's for, but it says Gekko-kan Boogie on it. What? You want it? Are you serious? Sure, you can have it. We don't have any use for it anyway. Here. Wow. They don't know what it is or why it's there, but they're just giving it away. Now get out of here before you get me in trouble. Fair enough. I obtained the Gekko-kan Boogie. All right, progress. I think I saw almost every building in the school except down the hall here, or every room in the school that I have access to. Can't go up to the third year's floor. I wonder if I have a way for Elizabeth to play this music. Well, maybe that'll be a future request, if not. So I fed the cat, I found the music. I didn't find anything about a Christmas star. So let's report what we have and reevaluate.
Good day.
About those requests.
Here are my requests.
That's right. I need to keep feeding the cat. No, not just need to. I get to keep feeding the cat. But I do have the music. Let me hear music unique to Gekko-kan.
Wonderful.
It seems you've completed a request. One moment, please, while I check. What is this circular disc? Gekko-kan Boogie is written on one surface. Is there music stored inside of it? Then this sheet of paper must be the lyrics. Everybody was haiku writing. Those kids were fast as lightning.
Very well, then.
I can't imagine what it sounds like from the words alone. I'll have to listen to it later. Please take this as your reward. Female uniform S. Okay. And no new requests to take its place, so it looks good there. So I guess that's all I need.
Very well, then.
So yeah, I'm still thinking of headed back to meet up with Suimitsu here. First, I'm going to stop off at the Naganaki Shrine. Because of course I am. I like it here. It's nice here. No Maiko today. But I spent time with her yesterday and she was doing well. Ah, the good old sacred tree. Let's stop here, take a drink, get some calming thoughts in our head, enjoy nature, and just meet back here in a second feeling nice and refreshed. Alright, everybody feeling good? Nice little break? Ah, same here. Keep the day moving then. I don't see anything specifically calling me over here to the Iwatoda area, but with these requests, I might just look around and see if there's anybody that wants to talk to me. I could even stop upstairs at the Net Cafe. One of these days, I'm going to be that regular customer. I'm going to find that new stuff one of these days. Although I guess I am looking for some online shoes too, so maybe stopping in here will be a lead on that. I didn't even think about that. Nope, that wasn't the case, and there's nothing new. So it's just a nice air-conditioned place to stop on the afternoon stroll. Okay, is this the taxi? No, he's the businessman. Oh, he is the taxi driver. For some reason, I was thinking I didn't usually see him till the evening hours. I got a complaint from a passenger. The guy called me reticent, unsociable, and moody. But when I try to talk, they tell me to shut up. This job, I tell you. If it isn't one thing, it's another. You need to be more social, but I don't want to be talked to either. I want all the groceries in one bag, but I don't want the bag to be heavy. Alright, well, I think we've seen everything we can, and we've worked out the requests I'm able to right now, so let's spend the remainder of the afternoon finally getting back with Noizumi Suimitsu. Boy, last time we talked to him, that was some time ago. And it's kind of a shame to let it go that long, but I'd heard the rumor about some gourmet king, and I found him down here, and he put me through a bit of a test. He had some quiz questions he wanted me to answer about the various food establishments, and what was the name of the special dish at this restaurant, what color is the mascot at that restaurant, and I was able to prove my worth in those questions, and he wanted me then to bring him something he'd never tasted before. I was at a bit of a loss there, and as fortune would have it, I had an odd morsel from the first section of Tartarus with me. He'd actually given me that clear clue by saying he wanted some, odd taste that he's never had before. Odd taste, odd morsel. But thankfully he knew that before I did, knew that I had that with me and took it from me. He ate it, he said it was disgusting, but it passed his test for something he'd never had before. So he said that I was successful enough to be allowed to be in his presence, in the presence of the gourmet king. We were going to go get something to eat, but then some guy in a suit showed up and said, though, I know that voice, that's you, Suimitsu, I finally found you. And Suimitsu hid behind me. I have no idea what the connection was between the guy in the suit and Suimitsu, but Suimitsu wondered if we should involve some sort of authorities to get this guy off our case. And he didn't want to cause a scene, so he reluctantly said, "You're fine, I'll drop it for today, but I'll be back." A lot of questions I don't have any answers to in the moment, but I believe that was the last stuff we heard about the Suimitsu storyline. So let's take a look through the social link reminders here and try to get caught up on everything I missed. Suimitsu is the self-proclaimed gourmet king. He didn't like me at first, but after rescuing him from a man harassing him, I seem to have gained his trust. That is true, I'd kind of forgotten about the initial disdain he had for me. He talked about how, I'm the tall, thin one that's just going to make him look worse by comparison, so we can't hang out together because people will just see him in an even more negative light than they already do. But after I was able to drive off the guy in the suit, or help drive him off, maybe I moved up a bit in his favor. So, that was where we left off. But yeah, let's spend the afternoon with Nozomi Suimitsu.
Listen.
Munch. Hey, Shima-kun. Perfect timing. Do you want to go get something to eat? I can hear my poor stomach crying already. I got Yamata no Orochi with me just to help out. Might grow closer. Yeah, I think that'll be a good use of the rest of the afternoon. Yeah, I think I've been everywhere else.
Yes!
Wonderful, my gourmet friend. Let us set forth on our culinary adventure. Yes, Gourmet King. Today we'll have some delightfully juicy meat at the strip mall that's practically exploding with flavor. And that can only mean one place. I say, yeah, it was Umiyushi, right?
You have a pretty good appetite. You even kept up with me. How do you stay so thin, though? Looks really hard deceiving, aren't they? But that means there are people out there who secretly want to take my title as Gourmet King. Maybe.
An interesting thought. I guess when you see so much of his identity in that title, there would be some level of Gourmet King is who I am, so I don't want anyone else to take that from me.
Actually, remember that puny middle-aged guy from the other day? I bet he was an assassin! Maybe.
I like the maybe stuck in at the end there. I hope that wasn't the case, Your Majesty.
There's nothing I can do about it right now, but I'll show them soon enough. Just you wait. In light of your recent achievements and your courageous appetite, I hereby appoint you to the Gourmet King's Royal Guard.
I'm moving up in the world. The Gourmet King's Royal Guard. That sounds different, but very fancy in its own way. There are definitely worse titles to be given.
No, maybe that's too much of a burden for you to bear.
No, I can do it. I can do it. I'm not talking badly about it. Suemitsu really seems to trust me. I'm glad. I'm not sure what I really did to earn his trust. All we did was get some food after school here. I'm glad. I'm very happy about that. And he seems like a good guy. A little quirky, but who isn't? I feel like our relationship is stronger. Yeah, it's still the early stages, but just to be able to spend some time like this together and kind of have that back and forth. He seems to acknowledge me in some capacity if he's willing to give me a title like that, so I'll take that. But yeah, it was a fun afternoon. I'm glad also to finally have taken the chance to get to know him a bit. It's been so long since we established the new rank, or the new link, that it's nice to see a rank of it here now. And it is early enough on in the social link process, too, that it is easy to make those initial steps of getting that much closer because there's so much unknown ground between us that any bit of closeness we have is a huge step. And we've talked about it more recently, too, with a lot of the social links now being at the higher numbers. It does take a few more time spending time together to see the story progress. It isn't just one story beat after the next. But this is the other side of that, where it is easier to make the initial progress. But I'm happy to see a 2 there. It's been a 1 for way too long.
By the way, you're a second year, right? So you're 1 year below me.
Ah, so you're Suemitsu senpai.
It kind of feels like I have a younger brother now.
Okay.
Well, would you want to be my younger brother?
Sure. I see nothing wrong with that. If it makes him happy, yeah. Not really, no. Boy, that would be mean, wouldn't it? Yeah, sure, why not?
You do sort of look like him. No, that's impossible. Whew, I knew this would happen. I always get hungry if I think about the past too hard. And I just filled up on that beef bowl, too. Better stay true to form and keep eating, huh?
That's why you're the gourmet king.
Here's to a healthy appetite courtesy of remembering the past. The old memory rewind. All right, now in reverse. Let's moonwalk.
Moonwalk, huh? Oh, there, yeah, okay.
What are you doing? You're my royal guard. You have to join me.
I kind of figured that was going to be a figure of speech. I didn't expect him to actually do it. I bet he expects me to do it now as well.
Now do as I do.
What can you do?
Moonwalk into Umiushi.
I tagged along with Suemitsu and had another beef bowl. I wonder if I moonwalked along with him in there. It's kind of a bummer we didn't get to see that. After eating, I parted ways with Suemitsu and went back to the dorm. That was a good afternoon. I feel like I accomplished a lot there. Worked on some requests for Elizabeth, spent some time with Suemitsu.
Welcome back.
Mitsu, haven't seen her since the operation night. Feeling rested? I am. Yesterday was a good day. It was a good night. Good day today. Yeah, I'm feeling good. There's plenty of time until the next full moon. And while I wish I could tell you to take it slow, finals start next week. So I'd like you to care for your health and concentrate on your studies. Very good advice. Oh, look at that. Okay. I was gonna say, I wonder what we can do this evening. I was thinking since we had all that food with the gourmet king Suemitsu during the afternoon, it seems kind of hard to want to go out to a place like Wakatsu Kitchen. But it looks like they're a study group. And it looks like, unless I'm misreading the room, I think I might be able to join them like we did last month and a half ago. So yeah, I want to take this bag upstairs, and I think I'm almost certain to do that. I mean, I won't rule everything else out because I'm not sure what all my options are, but it's going to take a lot for me to pick something over that. Well, there's actually something different here on a text I haven't seen before, so let's start with the one I know, with limited set meal today. Today we're serving up our special limited dish only for our regulars, a full-course seafood set meal available at a reasonable price. We hope you will all try it. Remember, a healthy brain stems from healthy food. Wakatsu's got your back. The Information Gatherer Security Training website. You interested in training videos? I found this site with a bunch of self-defense courses for security teams. This kind of stuff's supposed to be a trade secret, you know. But I'm letting you in on this because you're my kind of weird. If you're interested, come to Escapade. Okay, so that would be the source. I guess it's not really surprising that he was able to find a way to contact me as well, then. Well, I definitely have to stop by Club Escapade now and just take a look at what he's offering. I also wanted to try to follow up on those shoes, potentially. He seems to be my best lead if it's an online thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna check what's on TV. Okay, Junpei didn't have anything more he wanted to say to me today, and I guess I can't think of anything I want to say to him either, so we'll just pass by each other with a curt nod on the way out. I don't know where Fuuka ended up, but... Oh, I never did check and see what everyone else did with their day either. While I'm here, I'll get cleaned up and think about stuff. I'm probably gonna think about the tomatoes I'm growing up on the roof. Yep. 7:16. It's going to be closer than we think. But yeah, what did everyone else do with their night? I'm sure a lot of people went to the study group. Ooh, there was time to spend with Mutatsu-san. Normally I would be right there with him with the social links, but with these exams coming up and the chance to study with Mitsuru Nakahiko, I don't feel like I can pass that up. And 95% of people were in the daily life side of things as well. Nobody went to Tartarus, so obviously not an option because Mitsuru and Akihiko are both studying. The Fuuka is unaccounted for, as is Yukari. I don't know why I didn't mention her before either, but maybe they're studying together. Let's see what's on TV. Next, some good news. Man, I wish there was more of that in the news. Next, some good news. Natto has become surprisingly popular overseas. Called miracle beans, in foreign countries, they sell 5 times what they do in Japan. The well-known natto producer said, "Good thing I kept making it." Yeah? What a quote. Junpei. Alright, I'm gonna stop by Club Escapade, but probably wind up back here to study. Why is there an exclamation mark here? I have to look into that. I'm not sure what it could be. Nobody downstairs seemed to have anything I could talk to. But now I'm curious. So, we've got the time, right? Ah, they were up here. I guess this is their floor. Yukari, how you doing? Kirijo-senpai takes her mission really seriously. She would probably do just about anything to annihilate the shadows. I can respect feeling like there's something you have to do, but isn't it a bit much sometimes?
Well,
I think I know what you mean. There are a lot of old sayings about maintaining balance in your life. I understand not wanting to be too laid back, but you shouldn't become obsessive either. So Fuuka, what can I talk to Fuuka about? Did you need something? Apparently I do. Okay, I can ask her if... A Christmas... Okay, yeah, she did have plants in her room when we saw that scene between her and Yukari, didn't she? Didn't she? I think she did. Maybe I'm misremembering. That's the ornament on the top of a tree, right? That would be my first thought when I heard Christmas star. Why do you need one of those? Oh, if I'm right, it might not refer to an ornament at all. There's a type of plant that's sometimes called the Christmas star.
oh,
Could you wait a few minutes? I'll go double check. Wow, she is diligent. And she just happened to have a poinsettia.
sorry.
Sorry for the wait. How and why did you have that? I mean, thank you so much. Wow, she's even more prepared than I am with that chilled taiyaki. I just had a feeling somebody was going to want this specific plant. I think what you're looking for is the poinsettia. The flower is usually sold during Christmas time, so it'd be hard to find in stores now. That raises more questions, but I'm amazed you've got one. Fortunately, I had some in my room. Here you go. Well, that was amazingly convenient. Scarily convenient, even. But thank you, Fuuka.
Hey.
I think it's wonderful that Kirijo-senpai is so passionate about her cause. But being too passionate can cause people around you to feel confused. It's a difficult balancing act. That is true. it is good to be passionate about something, but if others don't share that same passion, then they won't see the bigger picture the way you do. And if you're not clear in how and why you're delivering things, it does muddy communication. And I think that is where there is that level of questioning the trust they have with Mitsuru, because they don't align with her current vision, because they don't exactly know her vision. Interesting. Well, Fuuka really came through with this poinsettia. I didn't expect to be able to deliver this today.
Good day.
About those requests.
Here are my requests.
And I had until 8/4, so it's nice to get that done almost a month ahead of time and not miss the deadline.
Let's hear the results.
It seems you've completed a request. One moment, please, while I check. That red-leafed plant, is that the Christmas star? I was led to believe there would be presents growing from this plant. I love her view of our world. It's so unique, but so fitting based on the things she sees and the lore behind things. Yes, there's this star that below it sprout presents. Yeah, that's how I always pictured it, so why isn't this plant doing that?
Very well, then.
This fulfills my request, but you can take it back with you. Although, once the presents are in bloom, I'd like for those plants to fill our room. I like that. I also like the fact that she wants these presents, and she was talking on her text earlier about knowing how greed is a sin, but she's still beset by it. So it's still kind of that same thing of like, well, you can take it back for now, but if there's presents, maybe you'd want to bring those back, because I do want those presents. That very innocent way to look at things. Please take this as your reward. Jack's gloves. Okay. No new requests. So I guess we're good, Elizabeth.
Very well, then.
We could tell by that icon that that's a weapon for Akihiko, so I'd better equip that now while I'm thinking about it, or at least see if it's worth equipping. We can enjoy the music while we look. Ooh, that's a decision. It's a significant boost in attack. It's a decent hit to accuracy, though. So yeah, where is that trade-off? I'm sure there's actual number crunchers that could really say, well, the best thing to do here is this. The charm effect is also worth playing into things. I know how debilitating charm can be, so if we could hit the enemy with that instead of my party, that would be nice. And I always kind of wonder if the equipment, if that attack bonus factors into certain abilities, like his various strike attacks that he'll use by way of his persona. Yeah, I've got him. I can equip him. If I miss too much, I can always fall back to the Seas Knuckles. Or maybe Officer Kurosawa's got something comparable once he changes out his stock. Yeah. Akihiko, I've got some Jack's gloves for you. Next, I was going to head to Club Escapade. And yes, Mutatsu-san is upstairs tonight, but I've got to be a student tonight. I'm sure if he knew I was shirking studying to spend time with him, he wouldn't be all that happy either. But suspicious man.
Go have a look for yourself.
You're a curious one, aren't you? Well, go ahead, take a look. Ooh, 5,000. A note with a URL of a site featuring videos on taking down enemies. That sounds very curious. That's all. That's his only new item. I do want that, but I don't think I need it tonight. I don't plan to use the computer tonight. I don't know when stock is going to change at Officer Kurosawa or the pharmacy. Spending 5%, about 5% actually of my money, 5,000 yen here. Maybe I'll hold off. I'm glad to know it's here, though.
It's been a pleasure.
So, one of these days, but not today. One last look at Club Escapade before we go. All right. Now to be a good student and go enjoy studying with Mitsuru and Akihiko. I think that covers everything else I was thinking about doing. Save the game here. Yeah, let's just see what sort of academic progress I can make, what I can learn from the two of them. It was kind of fun. My first study group was with the two of them a month ago. That was back when Akihiko was still recovering. I remember he was trying to to maintain a squat position over his chair while he was studying, to do studying and training at the same time. Mitsuru wasn't exactly thrilled with that. I was able to borrow her notes last month because I'd missed some time while I was recovering as well. And so it was just really nice to have their guidance on things. So I'm looking forward to that again this time around. Yo, Shima. I came down to get a drink and got caught by Mitsuru, as you can see.
Look.
I'm not worried about Akihiko's grades. I'm more worried he'll run off and do some reckless training. Yeah, he might seem to like to be drawn towards that training. And studying has the added benefit of preventing that possibility. Aha, so it's the strategic, efficient route. I can appreciate that. So here we are, even though I'm mostly done studying for the exams.
In that case...
And she's 3 steps ahead again, then why don't you overlook Shima's studies? That is, if he's able to join us. I feel a little bad imposing on Akihiko, but I could really use the guidance. It would very much help me. And I know that they are both skilled academically. Akihiko seems to really want to be on the training side of things, but I know he can rise up to those tests and face them head on when push comes to shove. Yeah, but yes, please do.
I see.
All right. Sit down. I'll be your study coach. And I even think I might have misread that, because I don't think he would be all that depressed about that. He wants me to come to him if I need something. He said as much before. He wants to be in that role as the older student here and to take care of those beneath him. So yeah, I think he's okay with that. Maybe I'm seeing what I want to see, but I genuinely do think he is happy to help out. And I'm sure it will benefit me to have his help.
I was hoping to go for another run after rehydrating.
Another run.
I believe you've done enough physical activity for one day. Any more and you'll hurt yourself.
It's amazing how much it's come up in this game in all sorts of different aspects about the balance of training and overtraining and the importance of recovery as a facet of training. Here it is again.
Fine. So, were there any subjects you needed help with?
Well, I've had issues in math. Apparently history, as that's still sticking in my head about that misjudgment this morning. I was wrong. I got the question wrong this morning. Just about however I want, I was wrong. Kanji is some sort of mystery to me. I know a few basic ones, but... Formulas, math. It's got to be math. If I've got a chance to ask questions, what is math? How does math work? I don't understand math.
Nothing beats using them in practice problems. Are you concerned about getting bored and losing focus?
No, I'm concerned about not remembering the formula at all. Practice is certainly the best way to do that. Repetition is going to drill it in deeper, but there's not really that wiggle room you get in other subjects. You can't really say, oh, that was supposed to be a plus instead of a minus there. Oh, oops, too bad, I was close. It's like, no, you were wrong. That one mistake changes everything. There's no real subjectivity to math. It's like, yeah, you're right or you're wrong. So, yeah, there's my problem. Is that fixable, Akihiko?
In that case, try a quick workout between problems. The brain perks up once you get the circulation flowing.
Interesting advice. I'm not sure how actionable that's going to be during exams, but maybe this is more for the preparation side of things.
Not to mention, looking forward to your next workout is a great way to stay motivated.
Maybe if I extrapolate that a bit to having some level of motivation beyond what I'm currently doing, I can stay focused on my studies, not get bored with them, and gain that much more from my study time, whether it's my next workout or some other reward.
In any case, I advise having a good workout ready to treat yourself with after a study session.
And, to his credit, there is actually a lot to be said for mixing things up with physical activity. I like to start my day with a walk around the area, just to put a mile or two in, just to kind of get the mind thinking. And it is so nice to just have that chance to think about things in a different way, to not be staring at some problem or issue or concept and just let it rattle around in the head a bit and sink in deeper or move to a different angle and see it differently. So, he is definitely right about the value of physical activity as it relates to studying and preparation.
It all comes down to making it a regular habit. Just a little each day really adds up.
That's also a good point, too. I think as much was talked about last month, too, and how cramming is basically almost impossible because you haven't really learned anything and you forget most of it by the time the tests happen. So by breaking it down into smaller, more manageable parts, you seed it deeper in the brain and it's that much more accessible. So I guess, yeah, I asked about how to remember formulas, studying in bursts, mixing it up with other things, and doing attainable segments of the studying rather than all at once. Yeah, this was all actually very good advice.
I wasn't going to say anything, but Akihiko, working out isn't normally a reward for most people.
We did kind of talk about that as well. And I did kind of say, maybe something other than working out.
On top of that, what good does it do to preach about long-term habits mere days before the exam?
She's also not wrong about that. Thinking back, this kind of was, if you'd started studying a week ago, this would have been a lot easier. But it is still good advice to carry on for the future. And I didn't ask about how to prepare for this exam. I said, how do I memorize formulas? So he answered my question correctly, I believe.
I guess you have a point. In that case, how would you recommend cramming for it?
I thought we talked about how that isn't the answer.
It's not my usual style, but I would focus on memorizing material that is likely to be tested.
Fair. And as much as I might decry it as well, I've been there 100%. Almost every test, there's that last-minute cram session, and it is prioritizing the things that are most likely to be there, or my weakest points. It's like, okay, this is going to trip me up, so I need to flash memorize this as soon as I can, or moments before the exam starts, hunt it down in the exam or test, and try to answer it while it's still in my brain and hasn't evaporated yet. So, yeah, focusing on the material likely to be tested is, if I'm in the situation to be cramming, that's the way to go.
If you give it your all, it shouldn't be too difficult. Easier than facing the enemy wholly unprepared, at least.
True.
Well, we can talk all night, but doing is where the magic happens. Here, let me give you some practice problems.
That is probably one of the better ways to do it. Yeah, I can talk about theory all I want, but if I can't get the questions right, then there's a deeper underlying problem that needs to be addressed. So, thank you, Akihiko, for actually kind of narrowing my focus. It was going to get into one of those discussions way out into the weeds on stuff of, what about this and what about that? It's like, no more talking. Let's start doing. Very much the Akihiko way, but that's, I think, what I needed here to actually make real progress or find where I need to address holes in my thinking. The two of them continued giving me rigorous advice. Yeah, there we go. Couple points academics. Not enough to level up, but I'd love to see it. And it really feels like I am doing something positive, productive, and directly in line with preparing for next week's exams. I felt the same way last time we had those midterm exams, and it's just so nice that the game gives me this opportunity to really do something. I'm not eating fish. I'm not playing a game at the arcade. I'm just doing something directly related to the exams.
You catch on quick. You immediately took what you learned and put it into practice.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that too. That means I was on the right track, and it helps that I had a good couple of coaches helping me out with it.
All you need now is some strength training and you'll be unstoppable.
He's got to circle it back to that, though, and keep that in my focus.
Once the exams are over, why don't we dive into Tartarus for a bit and get some workouts in?
That does sound good. We do have to make it through those exams first. That is definitely the looming priority since they start on Tuesday. It's weird to think that Tartarus might be considered a reward in that standpoint, but it does kind of sound like, once we get through exams, we get to go to Tartarus.
You never change. I'll need to continue keeping an eye on you to make sure you don't overdo it.
And it is nice to have Mitsuru there to also be that voice of reason and the hand to keep us from going too far off the rails. Having both of them to count on really does feel good.
The more you study and the more you train, the better results you'll get.
That's right. You put the work in, you get the results out of it. It's not a guarantee, but you're guaranteed to get nothing if you put nothing in.
I look forward to seeing what you'll accomplish from here on.
I'll try to live up to those expectations.
Let's call it here for today. I want to get some stretches in before heading to bed.
All right, Akihiko is still training. All right. That was the end of Thursday the 9th. And it was a good day. Let's head back to the desk and talk about it. We'll be right there. Okay, here we are. So yes, that was the end of Thursday, July 9th. And it was a great day. Accomplished a lot of different things, saw a lot of different things, and just really felt like another one of those nice days off. The day started off in school, as Thursdays do. And it was another one of those days where I got to face a question. It was Mr. Ono teaching history today. He was talking about the Heian era, the rise of feudalism, the cultivation of land, and just that shift from things to a more centralized, structured societal evolution, as it were. And he asked me what were some of the things that were happening in tandem, I guess, with the production and cultivation of land. He'd referenced it, linking it to the origins of the samurai. And I went back and forth, because the three options I had, there were two of them that seemed really similar in my mind. There was the talk about land invasions being a more common problem, and there was the talk about the stratification of classes, basically. And I went more with the land invasion idea. I reasoned that if there's more resources being cultivated in farms and things, they would be a bigger target for people that didn't have access to those things, and they would try to take them by force. There might have been some of that going on, but he in no uncertain terms told me I was wrong, and what he was looking for was the forming of different classes. There were the groups that had control of the land and control of the food, and it was that formation of the different levels of class. There were the people that were working, there were the people that were people just kind of fell into those different roles, and society formed around that. So I wasn't right. He told me I was wrong. He told me he expected more from me because I have the samurai spirit within me. A little bit of a bummer, but I learned. Hopefully I learned. And I'm going to try to keep that in mind next week come exams. The rest of the day seemed to progress smoothly. We were probably still just getting ready for exams in my other classes. And that brought me to the after-school hour. I had received a text from Elizabeth. She hardly ever texts me, but she had some new requests. So I made my way over there first and foremost and picked up all sorts of new requests. She wanted to hear some music that was unique to Gekkoukan High. She wanted a Christmas star. There were all sorts of things. She wanted me to feed the cat. All of those things I was able to do today, surprisingly enough. I went back through the school and basically knocked on every door until I came to the PA room, where they had found a CD of Gekkoukan Boogie that we'd heard about from the snobby movie critic by the movie theater the other day. And they didn't know what it was or what its purpose was, so they gave it to me. And I took that to Elizabeth, and that completed her request. I bought the cat food from the pharmacy back at the start of the playthrough, so I already had that for the week cat, and it was so nice to be able to feed the cat. I get to buy more tomorrow, and we get to feed the cat again, so that'll be fun. By evening, I was able to find that Christmas star to complete that request for Elizabeth. Fuuka just happened to have some poinsettia on hand. That was the plant she was looking for. So I completed a lot of Elizabeth's requests right away on day one here. There are some others that I still need to venture around to find some stuff for, but I'll find that when I find that. And with the rest of the afternoon, I actually spent some time with Suimitsu. It's been about a month since I unlocked the Moon social link rank with him, and he's just kind of been around. I haven't taken the time to spend with him, but he also texted me today. This is, I think, the first time he'd reached out to me, so answering his call, basically, that kind of felt like the good thing to do. And it was nice to spend some time with him. We went to Umiushi Beef Bowl and enjoyed a meal there. And it wasn't a long exchange, but it was nice just to get to talk to him a bit. He talked about his title as Gourmet King and how important that is to him and how people must respect him for it. And he thought maybe he should make me one of his royal guard because I could be there to support him, which sounded like, a little cool accolade. Just some level of getting closer, which was kind of nice. And then he said, I'm a third year, you're only a second year, so it's kind of like, I'm the big brother and you're the younger brother, right? You'd be okay being my younger brother, wouldn't you? And I had no reason to object. Yeah, sure. If you want to see things like that, that doesn't bother me. And he was encouraged by it. He's like, yeah, you do actually kind of look like him. And then he trailed off and said he was reminiscing about the past, and that made him hungry, so he wanted to go back into Umiushi and get another serving. And of course, I had to come along as his royal guard, so we didn't really get to further the discussion from there, but we headed back in, got another serving, and just had a good time together. And we increased the Moon social link rank up to rank 2. So it was a lot of fun just to get to spend time after school with him and actually make that connection. It's been too long since I first talked to him, so to see some real social progress felt really good. Back at the dorm in the evening, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and when I got in, I saw that Mitsuru and Akihiko were studying together, and that just looked perfect to me. I really enjoyed having study time with them last time around for those midterm exams, and it looked like I was going to have the chance to do so again in the evening. So after talking with some people, I was able to, like I say, get that Christmas star poinsettia flower from Fuuka and take that to Elizabeth. I also stopped by Club Escapade, and there was a guy selling URL links. There was one for a security website, so it talked about training videos for taking down enemies. I didn't buy it yet because I didn't really plan to be using the shared computer, or I wanted to save the money for tonight, but it's good to know that that's out there and something I could buy in the future. From there, I made my way back to the dorm to study. Just like I was hoping, Mitsuru and Akihiko did invite me to study with them. Akihiko was a little put off because he said he was just coming down to rehydrate before heading out for a run, and Mitsuru said that if I don't stop you, you're going to keep overtraining. So I want you to study. And he tried to say, well, I'm almost done with my studying. I don't need to study anymore. I'm ready for my exams. And she said, okay then, well that's perfect. You can help Shima study. You're okay having Akihiko help you study, aren't you? And to me, that sounded fantastic. He's good with academics. He seems to present things in an easy to understand way, so I kind of imposed on that kindness, and he said, yeah, if you don't mind, I would love that help. So we talked about math, and in general, a bit more about training to some extent, and having a reward for effort. Just a lot of general advice rather than specifics to prepare for the exam to start off. Take the big tasks, break them into smaller bits, have rewards, take breaks, all sorts of important good advice. Mitsuru chimed in and said, that's all well and good, but that doesn't really address the short-term problem of exams in 5 days or whatever it is. And so he said, yeah, maybe in that case, maybe you need to cram. Which isn't exactly the kind of studying I really want to do, but there's something to be said for it. So then we talked about, okay, how's the best way to cram for a test? And Mitsuru said, well, it's not really my style. I'd rather be ready ahead of time, but if it comes to that, I would probably prioritize the things you know are going to be tested. That sounds like a reasonable reason or approach to things. But we were able to get back into some actual problems. Akihiko was able to kind of take that step back and say, okay, enough theory, enough discussing it. You learn some by talking, but you learn a lot by doing. So let's do some practice problems. And I think that was just exactly what I needed. I was able to go through the problems and see what I know and see what I don't know. I was able to kind of show them and say, okay, so here's where your strengths are. Here are the couple misconceptions you have. So if you work on this and this, that'll help your entire understanding. So having their guidance as third years for the knowledge I'm trying to learn was just super helpful. They've already been through it, and they've got even more built on top of that foundation. So, like I say, they've been through it, so I can rely on them to catch those mistakes I'm making and fix them for me. Akihiko looked over the test questions I did. He said, yeah, pretty good. You've got a good grasp of this. You've taken it all to heart. So I'm guessing, maybe I did a handful of questions, talked it out on what I needed help with, and then did another, and looked like I was able to correct them. By the end of it, though, it just really felt like a great study session with the two of them. I feel like I learned a lot, and I took the right steps to get ready for next week's exams. Hopefully the rest of the dorm is also as interested in studying like they were last time around, and I can just keep doing that as we get closer. But before it got too late, that recovery side of things was back to being important, so we packed up our paperwork and headed back up to our rooms and went to bed. So that was how the day ended. It was just a really good day looking back on all the different things. Even though I didn't get that question right in school, it was a good day for school. It was good progress with Elizabeth in the afternoon. A nice chance to catch up with Suemitsu and make some progress as the afternoon rolled into evening. And then to spend the evening studying with Akihiko and Mitsuru was just the perfect cap to it all. But with that is the end of Thursday, July 9th. It has been a fantastic day. I want to thank you so much for sharing it with me. My name is Tom Shima. I stream this Persona a Day series live every day at 12:30 Eastern Time. Anytime you want to be here, I would love to have you. I know real-life schedules can be busy as well, so I take each day's playthrough and upload it to my channel on YouTube. I've got a playlist of this entire series. So anytime you want to go catch up on any of it, from the first episode all the way up to today's episode, you can do so there, whatever pace works best for you. And I just hope everyone has a great Thursday. Hopefully we've got that weekend coming up in sight. We're accomplishing the things we need to get done. And we can get to the evening side of things as our day wraps up and be able to look back on it favorably. I have been Tom Shima. Thank you again. I hope I can see you again tomorrow. It was a lot of fun today, and let's just keep enjoying our time. Thank you, and until I see you again, take care. Goodbye.